Ladies and gentlemen, just before I call upon our final speaker, and then we'll open the floor to some questions, an acknowledgement of a state member of Parliament whom I've come to learn is here with us tonight, from East Hills, Glenn Brooks. We welcome you. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll now call upon our final speaker, and as I mentioned, after that time we'll open the floor to questions. That does include our friends in the ballroom and the level 1 function room, so please be ready with your questions after Anthony Ball has had his 5 minutes at the microphone. The CEO of Clubs Australia, Anthony Ball.
Thank you, John, and good evening, everybody. You look fantastic, not just here, but in all of the other rooms. Let's see those placards, please. Come on, get them up. Well, can I thank Bankstown Sports Club? What a fantastic club. It's iconic. I wish we had another 100 of them. We don't. To John and Mark and your team, thank you so much for putting on what is just a fantastic night. Yeah. Thank you to the local MPs who turned up to work, a pretty tough crowd, Tony, Jason, Craig and of course Darryl. Look, we have different views, clearly we do. We think we know what this is all about. I don't think the message has yet got through to our local MPs, so we need to keep working. We need to keep working. What we ask tonight of these 4 gentlemen is to go back to Canberra and to be our voice in Canberra, not Canberra's voice in Bankstown or anywhere else. Look, tonight we have a great representation of our local community. We have clubland, but we have the broader community. We have sports people, we've got bowlers, golfers, we have workers, we have our members and directors, young and older here. We have representatives of the local hotels who are here somewhere. Hello to all of you. Everybody here is a real person with real concerns about their club. They either love to come to the club with their family or rely on their club for their job or for their organisation that they run. We've heard from some of those people tonight. These are the real concerns that pollies need to get. People in suburbs and townships all over Australia feel disenfranchised. There are people in Melbourne, Hobart and Canberra making silly decisions about people's futures in Bankstown and Botany Bay, and that is not right. We need people to fully understand what this means, not just mandatory pre-commitment, but what clubs do. We all know that clubs do great things. We need to get that message through. Look, tonight, if I can challenge you to do one thing, you need to speak to your friends, to your family, to your work colleagues, and you need to tell them this. You need to tell them that mandatory pre-commitment, the licence to punt, won't work. It won't work. It won't work, but it will hurt. It will hurt. It will hurt workers. It will hurt community groups and sporting teams, people who love their club and have supported them. Why won't this work? Well, give a problem gambler a card to gamble with. I think that fails every test, and we heard Rowan talk about that. A problem gambler will be the first person to get this licence and to gamble. What will they do then? They will set unrealistically high limits or no limits at all. And if they get fed up with that, well, they will gamble online or down at the TAB. How does mandatory pre-commitment help a single problem gambler? It does not. It won't work. It will hurt. You think about it. The hundreds of people who will lose their jobs from Botany Bay to Bankstown, all of these great clubs employ so many people, often the largest employers in these suburbs. Look out beyond the Great Dividing Range out to Western New South Wales. The club is the town hall, it's the bank, it's the largest employer. These clubs are going to suffer, and so are workers. Community groups, charities and sporting teams. I can see the basketballers up the back. I'm sure there are footballers. These groups, well, they will have to look elsewhere for their money. And who's going to give it to them? The government? The clubs have always done it, and the clubs want to continue to do it. We need the government to recognise that. And local businesses and local economies will hurt too. What about the butcher? when there's no more meat trays in clubs? What about the grocer, the supplier of beer, poker machine manufacturers? The flow-on effects of this will be huge. There will be an economic penalty. And who is going to mop up after all of that happens? Where will Andrew Wilkie be when all of that happens? He'll be back in Tasmania. He won't have to worry about what happens in Bankstown. The government, the people who make decisions, need to have that in their mind when they sit down and vote on this legislation that we know is coming. We know this legislation is coming and we know it will be bad. Everybody, thank you for your attention, thank you for support, and keep fighting.
Anthony Ball, thank you. Okay.